Today's video is a little bit different to what I usually do. It's more personal, it's about my life, my cycling career, how I got to where I am now, things like that. So I got this one on Tumblr. This guy says, an interesting video would be one going into more detail about your life, like discussing your pro cyclist career and more. Talk about different races, other jobs you've done, school, college, etc. Okay, so let's talk more about my pro cycling career. I don't really consider myself as a pro cyclist. I don't think I was ever a pro cyclist because I didn't race on the international stage, I didn't go pro tour, but I was racing at elite level in South Africa. I guess you could count that as a domestic pro. So yeah, it all started back in, we got to take into account the years before I actually started riding pro in South Africa. So I started back in 2007. I started racing as a junior. I was first year junior back then, 17 years old. And that time there weren't really many teams. So I started with a IQ. It was same as Chris Froome. It's actually quite interesting that Chris Froome and I went through a similar sort of transition, except he took a different path and obviously went further. And I just decided I'm not going to take drugs, not going to do the whole thing, so I just decided to stop. Started with IQ, 17 years old, first year junior, started racing that year, and then it just grew from there. Second year junior, went to Worlds for time trial, as I was the South African national champ for the time trial, and then I had a mechanical problem there, so was game over. I just decided to quit because I was struggling for 30 seconds or more to get my chain back onto the cassette. So yeah, that was obviously a huge disappointment for me. Had things work out accordingly, had they worked out properly, I would have probably come 5th at the Junior Worlds that year. So then the next year I started racing for Konica Minolta, same team as Chris Froome. After 2009 with Konica Minolta, it was on to the international scene. So I went to Europe with the South African national team and we did the Under 23 Nations Cup races, so the UCI races. It's pretty much on the same level as the World Championships. And we also raced local commissions and criteriums in Holland and Belgium. That's where I was based. And that was it for Europe. Other international races was only much later. In 2013, I did Tour of Rwanda. And in 2016, I did the Taiwan KM Challenge. After that, I was just racing in South Africa, team after team after team. Didn't really ever stick with the team because I wasn't really a politically correct person. I just wanted to do my own thing, stand for my own values. I never really fit into a team structure, even though I was willing to work for other people. It's just that my ideals were not the same. I just thought differently to everyone else. So I never really stayed in a team for longer than 6 months, 7 months at a time. And it was just the local teams, Toyota, Eurocar, Lights by Linear. Those were the sponsors over the years. And then end of 2016, beginning of 2017, I just decided, okay, this is it, I'm done with the sport, it's not really leading anywhere. It wasn't good for what I wanted to do with my life anymore. It's the same thing every year, same people, and I just felt like I wasn't making progress anymore, so I wanted to do something different. So about my life, how did I grow up? So I'm going for 28 this year now. I was born in 1990. April 5th is my birthday. I was born in Pretoria, and honestly, I had a really great life. I would consider myself one of the privileged few. I was definitely in the top 1% in terms of financial stability. My parents, they did the best they could to ensure that I got a good education. I went to Crawford Preparatory as a young lad, and then after that I went to Pretoria Boys High School. And yeah, after that I just decided I'm not going to university, so that was it in terms of my formal education. I finished year 12. I didn't skip school, but after that I had enough. I just didn't like the whole school system. And after that I pretty much had to decide what I wanted to do with my life, and cycling was that. And then I realized the truth about cycling. I started watching Gary Yourofsky videos, I went vegan, and it just started expanding my mind, my consciousness more. But yeah, honestly, cycling was, when I realized what you actually have to do to be the best, then yeah, that wasn't the life for me. Because we all have, especially when we start out with cycling, we've got this glamorous view of what it's like to be a professional cyclist, but the truth is it's a harsh reality, and yeah, I just didn't want to be part of that. I never really had a job. Well, I didn't have a job. My only job was to ride my bicycle, and my parents looked after me for a long time. It was till the end of 2016 that they supported me financially, and I'm really grateful for that. If it wasn't for them, I would probably have a 9-to-5 job, and I wouldn't have time to think about life so much. So in a way, that was actually a great blessing. Even though it didn't serve me in terms of emotional fortitude, mental fortitude, it did allow me to really critically think about the reality that I live in. So, you know, whatever happens to you in life, you can either take it as a blessing or a curse. I take it as a blessing. And at this stage of my life, I'm really learning a lot, becoming independent, and just growing on all levels. And that's what life's about. It's about growing. You're either growing or you're dying. What I didn't mention with regards to education is that I did a music production course after school. It was a year-long course, and also a DJ course. But being the person that I was at the time, that was back in 2012, I just didn't do anything with it. I didn't take initiative to build a career, make money, become independent, financially independent. I think this was due to having the financial support from my parents at the time, so it just encouraged my lazy behavior. Not that I'm blaming anyone, it's just, I blame myself, I blame myself for not becoming better, not doing something with the opportunities that I had. But luckily, 2016, end of 2016, Deuce came along. She just gave me that little kick in the ass to move out of home and become an independent person, look after myself. And it's taught me a lot. It's been more than a year now out of home, and I've grown in so many ways. Because the thing is, when you're on your own, you have to get it done. If you don't get it done, you've got to face consequences for that. And that's how we grow. We have to have challenges in our life. And if we don't have challenges, we have to find a way to create challenges in our life so that we become better, we step up, and we become the great people that we are meant to be. The most important thing, I think, for us is to live the things that we're passionate and obsessed about. For me, my obsession, my passion is to help people help themselves get better on the bike, get better with their health, and in turn, that helps the planet. It's just a win-win situation for everyone. It's winfinity, and life's really just about giving as much as you can. The secret to living is giving, as I always put in the description of my videos. It really is. So that's pretty much my life story in a nutshell. Obviously, I can go into more detail, but we'll discuss that for hours. So I just wanted to give a brief overview of my life. And thank you for that question on Tumblr. It was a good one. And if you like this kind of content, give this video a thumbs up, and let's discuss this shit in the comments. Who knows, maybe there's more people out there like me who've been lazy fucks all their lives, and they just got like they had like that aha moment, that moment where they just had to change. Things got better. So, thanks for watching.